I'm Abby.
And I'm Kara.
And we are the directors of this show you're seeing tonight.
Before the show can begin, we would like to thank all of you for attending tonight and for supporting us throughout the making of this play.
Next, we would like to thank Mr. A, and we did not practice this. He's taught us so much and helped us guide through this entire process. We're very grateful for him.
Next, we would like to thank our amazing cast and crew for working so hard to make this show everything it is.
And of course, Miss Jones, who is the dramatic arts designated tech wizard.
Now that that's out of the way,
Sit back,
relax,
laugh,
and enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Stable. The table. Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
when you asked me to help you carry it in, you didn't tell me it was that delicate.
It is delicate, isn't it? The man at the auction put it in the car for me, so I didn't realize.
Well, now that it's here, what are you gonna do with it?
I don't know, but it was too good to pass up.
You could put it outside and use it for a bird bath.
I could use it as a display for my violets. I've always wanted something unusual to display my violets.
It is unusual.
What do you think?
I think when John hears how much you paid for that, you're gonna be in trouble.
Nah, this overpowers the tense. I have to think of something else.
Mom, do we have any Sudsy labels?
I think so.
What contest are you entering this time?
It's the Sudsy Shampoo Slogan Contest. They have a brand new ingredient that no other shampoo has, and we're trying to find a slogan for it. First prize is a lifetime supply of Sudsy shampoo.
What's the ingredient?
Soap. Do you want to hear my slogan?
Sure.
Suds your hair before your date and make your boyfriend salivate.
Oh! That's very clever, Elizabeth. I think you have a good chance of winning.
Thanks. I was gonna rhyme with drool, but I figured this would be more sophisticated. After this, I'm gonna start on my entry for the Win Your Heart's Desire contest.
What's this Win Your Heart's Desires contest?
You have to say what you want most in the world, and the winner gets their wish. It can be anything as long as it's under $20,000. I'm gonna ask for a scholarship to Tank University.
But isn't Tank University a men's school?
I know, wouldn't it be fun? If we do have any Sudsy, where would it be?
Look in the bathroom.
If you don't find a label, you can check my house. Rachel always buys sexy.
Thanks.
Does it make you salivate?
You really should encourage Elizabeth more. You hardly paid attention to her slogan.
I encourage Elizabeth by paying the postage on all those contest entries.
John, are you home?
Come on in, Rachel. John went to go get his haircut. He should be back any minute.
I just came to borrow this drill and borrow a staple gun, if that's all right.
Sure, help yourself. You know where everything is in that garage better than I do.
I see you went to another auction. What is it?
It's an urn. From the look of it, I'd say it's a real antique.
From the look of it,
She's not quite sure what she's gonna do with it yet.
Too bad spittoons aren't still in fashion.
Rachel?
Listen, I was lucky to get this. There were 2 other people bidding against me.
Yeah, the owner and the auctioneer's assistant.
Don't pay any attention to her, Marianne. She never has appreciated antiques.
Hey, John.
Hi, John.
Hello, dear.
Hi.
What's the matter? Don't you feel well?
I'm alright for a man my age.
Must have been some party. You look like you were up all night.
No, I went to bed at 8. I can't keep those late hours like I used to.
Please don't start this again.
The years creep by, and before you know it, you can't have fun like you once did.
What's wrong with you? You sound like my grandfather.
Do you realize that 50 years is half a century? Half a century! I, John Dollefson, have been alive for half a century.
Congratulations, John. That's quite an accomplishment.
No, this isn't any accomplishment.
Your haircut looks very nice.
That's good since it might be the last one I ever get.
You mean you're gonna let your hair grow long?
I wish I could. By then I mean I won't have enough hair left soon to bother cutting.
You aren't that bald.
I've seen more growth than this on a moldy orange.
You're exaggerating again.
Then why did the barber ask if I wanted a cut or a polish?
He was joking.
Well, what about the shampoo? There were 3 people ahead of me in line today, and the barber offered all of them a bottle. But when it came to me, did he offer me one? No, he did not.
And you've been getting your haircut there twice a month for 6 years, and you've never bought in a bottle of shampoo. The barber probably got tired of trying to sell it to you, that's all.
That barber's no fool. He knows that soon enough all I'm going to be needing is a damp cloth and maybe some suntan lotion so my head won't peel.
You know what you really need?
Yes, a new body.
No, a new attitude. Just because you're going to be 50 in a couple of weeks.
So that's it.
I don't want to talk about it.
You're acting like your life is practically over.
It is.
It is not. I'm past 50 and I'm still here. I bet half your friends are over 50.
Friends? What friends? No one has time for friends anymore. The world's changed, Rachel. It's different than when you and I were young. People cared for each other then. People looked out for each other. Now it's just dog eat dog.
You're being pessimistic. We have lots of friends. Why, I was thinking of throwing a nice party for you on your birthday. Maybe a barbecue in the backyard. And I've had a terrible time keeping the guest list low enough so we could afford to do it.
I don't want a party, especially not a birthday party. The only reason people would come is for the free food.
That's a terrible thing to say. What kind of friends do you think we are?
He doesn't mean you, Jackie.
Everybody's so busy trying to make ends meet nowadays that there's no time for friendship.
Unless you die, then everyone takes time to go to the funeral.
That's true, I never thought about that.
When my aunt died, all the people who were too busy to go and visit her in the hospital still managed to find time to attend the funeral. All I could think of that day is how sad it was she couldn't be there to visit with her friends.
Oh, that's sad.
That's very sad.
I wish we could have had the funeral first while she was still around to enjoy it.
You know what the worst part about turning 50 is? 50 years and I have nothing to show for it. Nothing.
That's not true. You have a good marriage and a
If I
love.
died tonight, you wouldn't even have to bother with a funeral. I have so few friends it wouldn't even be worth the trouble.
I'd come.
Not me. I'd say, John who?
Rachel!
John knows I'm joking.
You're not far from the truth. A year from now, who would even remember me?
I would.
George Gershwin died when he was only 39, and look how much he accomplished. Rhapsody in Blue, Porgy and Bess, An American in Paris.
You're not giving yourself enough credit, John. You're highly respected at work. You own your own home.
It's mortgage.
And your own furnishings. Now, do you know where the staple gun is? I came over to borrow it and I can't find it.
50 years and all I have to show for this thing staple gun.
He is depressed, isn't he? He didn't even notice the urn.
Jackie, you've given me a terrific idea.
I have? What is it?
Promise me you won't tell anyone, not even Rachel.
But I always tell Rachel everything.
Not this time, you have to promise.
Alright, I promise. What's your idea?
I know what I'm gonna give John for his birthday. A funeral!
Oh, what?
I'm gonna give John a funeral. His funeral. He's gonna have what your aunt didn't have, a chance to attend his own funeral. All his friends will come in, everyone from his office, and he'll see how much we all love and appreciate him, and he'll be happy again.
I'm not sure you can do that. It might be illegal.
Why would it be illegal to have a funeral?
I think somebody has to die first.
I know very much there is such a law.
Maybe not. Probably the matter doesn't come up often enough for there to be a law. But how would people find out about the funeral? You can't really send invitations.
They'll see the obituary notice. I'll write it, send it into the paper, and they'll print it.
What if the newspaper checks and finds out that John didn't die?
Why would they do that? You're worrying about the silly details. What's the matter? You don't like my idea?
I'm not sure. I have to think about it.
Well, I like it, and I have an instinct for these type of things. I know this is just what John needs to cheer him up. Now, let's see. John's birthday is on June 28th. Oh, good. The 28th is a Monday. That'll work out just fine. We'll pretend John dies on the Friday the 25th. I'll write the obituary on the Saturday, and we'll hold his funeral on Monday afternoon. We'll make a long weekend of it.
It'll be a long weekend, all right. How are you going to hide John all that time? You can't let him answer the phone or the door or anything. And when people find out that he's dead, they'll be coming to the house.
You'll have to get rid of John for the weekend.
I'll have to get rid of John.
You and Jackie, Rachel. Maybe I can send John over to borrow something, and Rachel can keep him talking, sort of like the man who came to dinner.
You expect Rachel to keep John talking for 3 days?
Well, I suppose that isn't too realistic, but we'll have to think of something.
Oh, what about that fishing trip that John and Rachel are always talking about? Maybe they could do that.
Yes, that's perfect. Oh, Jackie, I knew you'd help. Rachel and John can go fishing. They can leave after work on Friday and not come home until Sunday evening. Then, on Monday morning, instead of waking John up to go to work, I'll let him sleep until it's time for his funeral. Maybe we should have the service in the morning. That way there's not such a time gap between the fishing and the funeral.
Rachel is always gloomy Monday morning anyway. She might as well have a good reason.
Then, when everyone's seated and it's time to start the service, I'll bring John to the back of the church to watch.
The church? Marianne! You can't have this funeral at the church.
Why not? We're members.
It wouldn't be proper. You're having this funeral under false pretenses. And if you do it at church, you'll start a lot of trouble. You may anyway, but at least don't involve the church in it. Can you imagine how many people might cancel their pledges if the press got wind of a deal like this? I can just see the headline. Phony funeral at St. James.
Then I'll have it at a funeral home.
That might not be so easy either.
Why not? I'll pay for the facilities.
They'll be expecting a body. They make their profit on the preparations too, not just on the funeral service.
I'll tell them the body will arrive Monday morning. I'll say he's out of town. That's true. He will be out of town, fishing with Rachel. I'll say I want a simple service with a closed casket.
Casket. Marianne, you're gonna have to buy a casket.
I suppose I will.
Caskets are expensive. Even the plain bottom of the line ones still cost at least a couple $100.
Oh, I won't be getting a bottom line one. I'm gonna have to buy a fancy coffin.
You will? I didn't think you believed in spending a lot of money on things like that. I'd have thought you'd choose a simple pine box.
Well, I would if John was really dead, but the purpose of this funeral is to show him how much we all appreciate him. I'm gonna have to buy a fancy, expensive casket.
What will you do with it after the funeral?
I suppose I could sell it.
I doubt if there's much market for a used casket.
It won't be used, not really.
Maybe the funeral home would buy it back at a discount.
If they want, I could always just place a want ad for it.
You could use it as a planter. Think of how many African violets it would hold.
I could always just store it in the garage. There's so much junk in there, nobody would even notice if I added a casket. John could keep his tools in it.
Well, no matter what you do with it afterwards, you're still gonna have to pay for it. And that's a lot of money to spend on an oversized toolbox.
So that's gonna be the real problem. How am I gonna pay for all this? I've had enough trouble planning my budget for a barbecue.
Could you withdraw the money from your savings account?
I could, but then John would kill me.
Then you could have a double funeral. How romantic.
Except I'd be the only one dead. No thanks.
At least that way the coffin wouldn't go to waste.
Do you think the funeral home takes MasterCard?
In case you want to die now, pay later.
Well, they have to have some sort of funeral credit plan.
You could have John cremated and put his ashes in a new urn.
That's perfect! That way I wouldn't have to buy a casket and I can use this lovely antique. No, Jackie, I can't cremate John. He won't really be dead.
I found the Sudsy label. I'm gonna get it postmarked right away, so it'll get mailed before midnight, and then I'm gonna start on my Win Your Heart's Desire entry.
What did you say this prize was for this Win Your Heart's Desires contest?
You have to say we want most in the world, and the winner gets their wish. It can be anything as long as it's under $20,000.
Oh, you can pay for quite a funeral with $20,000.
Did somebody die?
Oh no, I was just thinking. You go ahead and mail your entry.
Good luck, Elizabeth. I hope you win all the Sudsy.
Thanks. I figure if there's anything to the law of averages, then I'm bound to win sometime.
Are you thinking what I think you're thinking?
I'll win the contest and let the newspaper pay for John's funeral.
What if you don't win?
Here it is. Listen to this. Entries will be judged on May 25th. The timing is perfect. And listen to this. Entries will be judged on originality. What could be more original than wanting a funeral for someone who hasn't died yet? I'm a cinch to win. I think I'll even invite John's brother.
The one in Oklahoma?
They haven't seen each other in years. Think of how surprised John will be. And I'll pay for Roy's ticket. It won't cost him a thing. He'll come for sure if it doesn't cost him anything.
Did John leave the staple gun in here? We can't find it.
Rachel, you know that fishing trip you and John have always wanted to take?
Yes.
Well, we think you should take it.
Really? What made you change your minds?
We think it might cheer John up.
Make him forget about his birthday.
That's a great idea. Maybe we can go this weekend.
Oh no, that's too soon to get ready.
What's there to get ready? All we'll need is our fishing gear and a couple of sleeping bags.
It's too soon for us to get ready. We want to plan our weekends. We are too lonely while you guys are gone. Why don't you go on, say, June 25th?
The 25th is fine by me.
Did you find it?
I haven't seen that staple gun in weeks.
Do you have anything the weekend of the 5th? Weekend of the 25th. Do you have any plans?
At my age, you don't plan that far ahead. I mean, I may be here or I may not.
How does a weekend in the woods sound? 2 days of sunshine, fresh air, fishing in the stream, sleeping under the stars.
Getting arthritis in my back?
Picture it, John. It'll be just you and me on the bank of Red Rock Creek. No phones, no interruptions. We'll be two he-men in the rugged outdoors, pitting our strength against the wiles of nature.
I don't think Marianne would let me.
Oh, I want you to go.
You do?
Oh, I think this is a fine idea. You two work hard. You deserve a little vacation.
What do you say, John? Are you willing?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't backpacked in the woods in quite a while. I'm not sure if I could do it. I'm not sure if I'm willing.
You're in your prime. This is just what you need to strengthen up the old muscles and get rid of that flab.
Well,
He'll go.
Great.
what will you guys do that weekend?
Oh, we're gonna do some shopping.
Or a planter for my African violets.
Ed Davis went last weekend and caught his limit both days.
His limit? Well, if Ed Davis can, you and I can certainly... What is that thing? Never mind, don't tell me what it is. Just tell me how much you paid for it.
Well, believe me, it was a real bargain.
That means she paid over $50. Whenever she says it's a real bargain, that means she paid over $50. It could have been worse. It could have been a steal, and that way it was over $100.
Let's just go look at her fishing gear and see if we need anything before the trip.
Oh, this is perfect. Everything's falling right into place. He's looking younger already, don't you think?
He did notice the urn.
John's gonna have the most exciting funeral of his entire life.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Well, the first thing I need to do is get my entry written for the Heart's Desires contest. Then, reserve Roy's plane ticket, hire an organist, order a casket. I better make a list. I won't remember anything if I don't make a list.
What if you don't win the contest?
Oh, I'll win. I have to. It's the only way I can possibly pay for all this. Why is there never any paper when I need it? John's funeral. Here it is, Jackie, in print. John's funeral. Hire an organist. Order flowers. Reserve Swan's mortuary. I think Swan's is the best, don't you? I kind of like their jingle on the radio. Have your song at Swan's.
I have to go home and start dinner. I'll see you later.
Plan music. I wonder if we can work in the Hallelujah chorus. It's always been John's favorite.
Maybe when John enters.
Oh, right, obituary. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. John's going to be like a teenager before it's all over.
I hope so.
John's suit. Ooh. I better take his good suit to the cleaners right away. Oh, crap. Yeah, that'll work.
I can almost taste this fish already.
Food always tastes better outdoors.
It's because you're hungrier. You work up an appetite.
Just imagine 2 whole days at Red Rock Creek.
Our limit of trout.
Do you have a hairpin? Whenever this reel gets stuck, I always use one of Jackie's hairpins to get it loose.
I don't have them on me, but Jackie, Mary Ann usually keeps one in her purse. I'll check there.
Did you find one?
So that's the reason.
What's the reason? What's
Well,
the matter? Are you alright?
That makes sense now. I should have known it. I should have guessed.
What makes sense?
This whole fishing trip suddenly makes sense.
Of course it makes sense. We've been talking about this trip for 2 whole years.
Well, why were they suddenly so agreeable about this trip? They never wanted us to go before.
They think we deserve a vacation.
Well, why now? Why do we suddenly deserve a vacation?
Why does it matter? As long as they want us to go.
Who suggested that you and I take this trip?
I don't know. What difference does it make?
It's important. Who brought it up first?
Well, I guess it was Mary Ann.
No, I knew it. It all makes sense now.
Okay, you may understand everything, but I'm getting more confused by the minute.
I may as well tell you. When Mary Ann says goodbye to me on the 25th, she never expects to see me again.
Oh, come on. A fishing trip isn't that strenuous. We won't push ourselves too hard or get lost or anything.
I'm not talking about getting lost.
Then what?
Mary Ann is planning on having me murdered.
What?
You heard me. Mary Ann's gonna have me bumped off in the woods somewhere.
You're crazy. Mary Ann wouldn't do such a thing. Where'd you even get an idea like that?
Here's the plan for my funeral. Sunday, June 27th. Hire organist. Order flowers. She's even buying a coffin.
Let me see that. I don't believe it. Mary Ann? Planning a murder?
Not just a murder, my murder.
But why the fishing trip?
I don't know, maybe she wants to make sure I die happy?
If she hired someone to kill you, they could do it just as well here as anywhere else.
No, Marion hates the sight of blood. If I'm killed somewhere else, then she wouldn't have to clean it a mess.
Maybe it's supposed to look like an accident.
Yes, it can be accidental. That way she can collect on the insurance money. Probably all drowned in Red Rock Creek.
Wow, she really thought of everything.
Except for hiding the list.
But why would Marianne want to murder you? I mean, she always seems so happy.
I'm getting old and decrepit. I'll be 50 soon, you know. Straight downhill from there.
That's ridiculous. I'm 53 and Jackie hasn't murdered me yet. She's threatened to a few times, but to be fair, she did that when I was 23 too.
Soul body's wearing out. One by one, the parts start to deteriorate. First the hair, then the waistline. A pretty one like Marianne doesn't deserve a broken down old man.
You aren't having trouble, are you?
Of course I'm having trouble. I just told you my wife wants to have me murdered. How much trouble do you want?
That's not what I meant. I meant, are you still able
Able to what?
in, do you and Marianne so boing, 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 boing?
Do Marianne and I still what?
In bed, like bow, chicka, bow, wow.
Oh, you mean if Marianne and I still...
Yes.
Well, yes, if you must know, still perfectly able. Not that it's any of your business.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking for a reason why Marianne would want to get rid of you.
It isn't because of our sex life. I mean, my hair may be gone and my waistline may be non-existent, but I'm still okay in that department.
Great. I'm glad to hear it.
It must be you.
Maybe we're jumping to conclusions. We don't have any real proof Marianne wants to murder you.
She has my whole funeral planned.
It could be in case of an emergency, an accident.
Sure, she even knows the exact date that emergency is gonna happen. There's my proof.
All this proves is that she's planning your funeral. It doesn't mean she's going to murder you.
How else could she have a funeral for me? I mean, we both know Marianne has some crazy ideas sometimes, but even she wouldn't put on a funeral without a corpse.
It's just so unbelievable. I mean, Marianne's the last person I suspect of a murder.
Yes.
Well, at least you found out in time. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. What can I do?
Well, I suppose the first thing to do would be to call the police. They can stake out all of Red Rock Creek, and when the killer comes near, they can arrest him.
What if they don't see him in time?
Or what if the killer's Marianne herself?
No, I told you, Marianne hates a set of blood. This is a job for a professional killer.
Let's not go to Red Rock Creek. Let's go to Sun Lake instead. And when we get home, we can just say we changed our minds at the last minute.
Well, what if she had us followed?
Then it wouldn't matter where we went.
None of this solves the problem anyway. Even if I escape this time, I'd always be expecting it. I'd be too afraid to empty the garbage after dark.
Let's just call the police and let them tell us what to do.
No.
They know about things like this.
I won't let you do that. They might arrest Marianne.
That would seem like a reasonable possibility.
Well, it won't have it. Marianne is a fine, respectable, upright...
Murderer.
No, well, maybe, but she certainly doesn't belong in jail. Think about what it would do to Elizabeth.
A murdered father won't be so good for Elizabeth either. You have to do something. You can't just go on that fishing trip and let yourself be killed.
I will do something. Before I tell you this, I want your word that you will not tell a single person. Especially not Jackie.
Fine, just tell her. Coward.
I'll desert. Lots of people do it. I'll leave here on the 25th just as everything were fine. I'll kiss Marianne goodbye and get in the car with you. Except, I won't be going to Red Rock Creek. I'll be going to Mexico.
Mexico.
Yes, Mexico. I'll change my name, desert, and have my 50th birthday south of the border. I've heard the Mexicans treat their elderly very well. You can be happy there, alone and unwanted.
But are you sure that's really how you want it, John?
That's how I want it. I'll just slip away. No tears, no fuss.
But what about Marianne? Marianne has a lovely funeral planned just for
It
you.
could be a memorial service. I'd like the idea of that better anyway. I can never stand the thought of everyone looking down at my poor, worn-out body.
If that's how you want it,
That's how I want it.
I guess we won't be needing this stuff anymore.
Would you like my unreal, so as a going away present to remember me by?
Thanks, pal. I really appreciate that.
No tears, no goodbyes. I'll just slip away. You may as well have my tools too, or I'm going and won't need them.
Thanks. I'll think of you whenever I use them.
Oh, Dad, I don't want you to die.
Alright, hey guys, we're we're gonna have a 10-minute intermission. We'll be back.
My heart's desire is to have the best medical care possible for my father. He's 50 years old. No, he's only 49 years old and he has an incurable disease. It's important for him to get medical care as soon as possible because otherwise he won't be here for my high school graduation and he won't be here for my wedding.
Hey, honey, where's your mom?
Hi, Dad.
What's wrong? Were you crying?
Nothing's wrong. I was writing something sad.
That's good. If it's a good cry, then the public will love it. Oh, is there any milk?
It's on the table.
John,
Oh, come on.
I have something to tell you. Where's Elizabeth?
Oh, she just went to her room. She should.
I need to tell you something, and I don't want Elizabeth to hear.
Must be quite a joke.
This is no joke. Have you ever suspected Marianne of being unfaithful?
Marianne?
Shh, no, yes, no. Marianne.
Of course not. Marianne would never cheat on me.
The husband always thinks that.
Listen, she may be planning to murder me, but she's still an honest, trustworthy person. Marianne would never cheat on me. Why do you ask?
Because she's over at my house using the phone, and she didn't know I was in the next room.
Yes?
Well, I didn't mean to overhear, or eavesdrop, but I couldn't help but hear some things.
So what did you hear?
I don't know how to say this, John, but Marianne just made a reservation at the Starburst Motel.
Wonder why she'd do that?
Why do women usually make reservations at a motel where they live?
You think Marianne's meeting someone there?
Do you have any better explanation?
The Starburst is only 6 blocks away. If Marianne wanted to meet someone, then she'd go farther away than that to make sure I didn't find out.
You won't be here. The reservation is for June 27th. So, she made the reservation under the name Dolphin, so I can't tell you who the man is.
Sunday night? She's not even gonna wait until after my funeral?
She did sound pretty eager.
Eager? What did she say?
Well, for one thing, she specified one bed.
She didn't.
She did. She went, oh yes, one bed will be just fine. The other one won't be used anyways. And then, when Jackie asked if she was going to go down and make a deposit, she said, no, my heart's desire will pay for it.
Heart's Desire? That's what you called him? Her Heart's Desire?
That's what she said.
Guess you were right when you asked me if I was having trouble with my sex life. I am having trouble. I just didn't know it.
How could you not know it?
20 years you live with a woman. Sometimes you think you know her. Other times you think you understand her. And then you find out all along someone else was her heart's desire. Heart's Desire. All she ever called me was Big Daddy.
Sorry. Sorry. I wonder who it is.
Probably an antique dealer. Will spend my insurance money on urns.
Big Daddy?
Look at this. That stupid girl at the travel agency sent my ticket here. I told her twice to send it to my office. Look, she even addressed it to Mrs. Dollefson. Good thing I got here first. Marianne usually checks the mail. What if she opened this up and found a one-way ticket to Mexico? What would she have said? What would I have said? This isn't my ticket. Mexico.
Then what is it?
It's a ticket to Oklahoma City, Sunday, June 27th.
Who's going to Oklahoma City?
I don't know.
Do you think it's for you? Do you think your bro is going to be out of town?
How should I know? I'm not planning the funeral. I'm only supposed to contribute the body.
I bet Marianne hired an outstate killer and that's his escape flight. We should notify the FBI and they can stake out the airport and arrest him.
And arrest him for what? I'll be in Mexico.
Oh, right.
Wait a minute, this isn't a flight to Oklahoma City. It's a confirmation of a flight here coming from Oklahoma City.
Who do you know in Oklahoma City? Or rather, who does Marianne know? That's addressed to Miss Stolfson.
Oh my god, not him.
Who?
Oh, it's so much worse than I thought, so much worse.
How can it be worse?
I know who Marianne's lover is. It's Roy.
Your brother Roy!
My younger bachelor brother Roy. You know the one with all the hair? Marianne's trading me in for a newer model.
You could be just, coming for the funeral.
No, he wouldn't know about that yet. Oh, that rat. That dirty rat. He always had eyes for Marianne. He took her out first, except I was the one she wanted. In fact, on the day of our wedding, she said, "Marianne, if this idiot doesn't treat you right, then you just say the word and I'll take you away from him." That's what he said.
And now you think Marianne said the word.
It all fits together. I leave here on Friday, meet with a tragic and painful end on Saturday, and she just arrives on Then he just arrives on Sunday for the wedding. In a few months, they'll have a quiet wedding. No scandal, no problems. You won't even have to change your name.
Why would they send the confirmation here?
I don't know, unless
Marianne must be paying for the plane ticket.
you did say that she was paying for the hotel bill.
Why else would they send the confirmation here?
Oh, you're right. It hurts to admit it, but you're right. I'm not even dead yet, and Marianne's already spending my insurance money on another man.
You should confront her with the evidence. Tell Roy you know about... No, tell Marianne you know about Roy and cancel that reservation.
We're good with that, too. If Marianne's in love with someone else, then I won't stand in her way. I'll just destroy the evidence. And pretend I didn't know a thing.
You're a big man, John.
She did call me Big Daddy.
Elizabeth, do you know that your father is a very special person? What's the matter? Did I say something wrong?
No, she cries all the time lately. Marianne says it's a phase teenage girls go through. You know where they like to cry?
You think Elizabeth enjoys that wailing?
I mean, she must, or she wouldn't do so much of it.
You know, John, every time I start to regret that Jackie and I never started a family, Elizabeth does something to change my mind.
Thanks.
Oh, hello, dear. I didn't realize you were home already. Hi, Rachel.
Have you always done that?
Done what?
Done whatever that was when John comes home from work.
Sure, it's kind of a habit we got into, but it's a nice kind of habit. Don't you think?
You amaze me, Marianne. You truly amaze me. I'll see you later, John.
My goodness, I wonder why Rachel acted so surprised that I would hug you.
I guess she just wasn't expecting it.
I don't see why not. It's a perfectly natural thing to do, don't you think? Why, I'd miss it if I didn't hug you when you came home. It wouldn't feel right.
I wonder if you'll miss it when I'm gone.
No, don't start that again. Your 50th birthday is not something to dread. In fact, I can guarantee this one birthday you'll remember for a long, long time.
It's pretty memorable already, and it hasn't even happened yet.
Well, when it gets here, it is going to be spectacular. I don't think I've looked forward to anything as much as I'm looking forward to this.
You're that glad to see me go?
Well, now I know you'll have a good time on your fishing trip.
You promise you won't be lonely?
Oh, heavens no. I'll be much too busy to sit around being lonesome. I have lots of things planned.
I'll bet.
Oh, where's the mail?
What mail?
Today's mail. I thought I saw it on the table before I went over to Jackie's. Didn't Elizabeth bring it in?
Right, that mail. It's,
Why is it on the floor?
I dropped it. My hands aren't as steady as they once were.
We need to get a nice new antique letter holder to keep on the table. I'll have to look out for one next time I'm at an auction.
Shoebox would be cheaper.
Cheaper maybe, but not nearly as attractive.
There aren't even antiques to open up a shop.
I like old things. The older the better.
Except for men.
Excuse me?
Sorry, just talking to myself, another sign of advancing age.
Will you stop talking like that? Sometimes I think that's what's upsetting Elizabeth. She only seems to cry when you're around.
Since when did Elizabeth listen to what I have to say? If she's upset, it's probably because she doesn't have a boyfriend.
Do not talk sexist.
I'm not. You told me the reason Elizabeth doesn't see Debbie anymore is because Debbie has a boyfriend. Maybe Elizabeth's jealous.
I haven't thought of that. Elizabeth is probably feeling left out. Maybe I could talk to Alice Hathaway.
Who?
Alice Hathaway, the president of the African Violet Society. Her son's in Elizabeth's class. Maybe you can ask Alice to ask him to ask Elizabeth to go out.
You will do nothing of the sort. Elizabeth will probably get plenty of boyfriends.
We can have them over for a family get-together.
I don't even know the Hathaways.
Well, then it's time you got acquainted. Alice is a lovely person. Such a way with Violet. And I'm sure her husband and son are fine people, too.
So you don't know them either?
We can have them over this weekend. No, we couldn't. You'll be gone fishing.
Right, what about the weekend after that?
Well, I hate to wait so long when Elizabeth is so unhappy.
Besides, you might be very busy by then.
Actually, I expect to be busier this weekend than I have been for a long, long time.
You do?
Oh, I certainly do.
Well, if you're going to be so busy, maybe I should cancel the trip and stay
Oh, no, you can't do that.
Why not?
Why not? Well, the things that I'm going to be doing aren't things that you can help with. You see, you might say, you just might say the things that I'm going to be doing are female things. Oh, what happened to the phone?
Oh, the phone.
The phone. It was right.
I think
It was
it's
right
time.
here.
Amber, I want to copy my entry on a clean piece.
Why don't you take a break and give yourself a rest from this one contest?
Oh, I couldn't.
Oh, but you'll be so unhappy if you don't win. With a prize like that, the competition's certain to be very stiff.
I think I have a good chance. I've got a great entry.
What is it?
What is what?
What's your entry? Let's hear it.
My entry for the Sudsy shampoo contest was really great. It went, suds your hair
I
before
already
you...
heard your Sudsy entry. I want to hear this one.
If you don't mind, I'd rather not tell.
Why not?
You're not asking for something illegal, are you?
No,
Well, what is it then?
it's personal.
Personal.
Too personal to discuss with your family, but not too personal to send to some strangers in the contest?
I just don't want to say.
That isn't something that will embarrass us, is it?
No, I promise.
Well, just don't get your hopes up too high. There are a lot of people who have their entries written for this contest. Adult, grown-up people who can write much more convincingly than you can.
They don't want what they're asking for as much as I do, though. No one could want anything more.
I wish Elizabeth wasn't so bent up on winning this contest. She'll only be disappointed.
What do you suppose her entry says?
Whatever it is, she's certainly emotional about it.
What if she's asking for a boyfriend?
Oh God, I hope not.
No, she said it wouldn't embarrass us.
You know, sometimes I think I'll be glad when Elizabeth is safely raised and out of the house. Maybe then we could stop worrying about her and start enjoying her.
I enjoy Elizabeth now, except for all the crying.
I do too. I suppose we'll even miss the crying in a few years as well.
I'm gonna miss it even sooner than that. Oh, anyway, I should probably start packing.
Packing for what?
For my trip, I have lots to get ready.
But Rachel said all you take is your sleeping bags and some fishing gear.
That may be enough for Rachel, but I'm gonna need to pack some clothes.
I thought for sure it would come today.
I'm going to the mailbox.
All right.
Mom, do we have hospital insurance?
Of course, why do you ask?
It's just doctor bills can add up pretty fast and...
Oh, you don't need to worry about stuff like that. We have a great hospital plan. And enough life insurance too, so if anything were to happen to your father, you and I would still be accounted for.
Will you sit down? You're gonna wear a hole in the floor with all that pacing.
Why don't you call? It's almost 4 o'clock.
Are you sure the winner's gonna be notified today? Maybe you made a mistake.
Oh, I haven't made a mistake. I've read the rules 100 times. The winner of the Hearts Desires contest will be notified no later than 6 p.m. on Friday, June 25th. That's today.
They probably just got so many entries that it's taking them longer than they thought to judge them all. Maybe they just extended the deadline.
They can't. I need the money by tomorrow. There won't be any flowers at John's funeral. And I promised the casket man a down payment. I know, Jackie, I'm getting scared. I've ordered all these things. What if I don't win?
You're gonna have a lot of explaining to do.
If I don't win, I think I'll kill myself. That way you can have the funeral for me. It'll be easier than trying to cancel everything.
You still have 3 hours.
Well, I was kind of hoping they'd call before John gets home. I wouldn't want him here while I'm talking to the contest officials.
Why don't we take John's bag over to my house and put it in the car? That way they can leave right away.
You mean John's bags, plural. Look at all that luggage he's taking.
All that?
You'd think he's leaving for a month safari instead of a 2-day fishing trip. He even wanted to pack his good suit. I wouldn't let him, though. I had it cleaned especially for the funeral, and I was afraid it would get wrinkled in that suitcase.
Why would John want to take his good suit to Red Rock Creek when there are plenty of fish? What?
What?
Why would John want to take his good suit to Red Rock Creek?
Well, I don't know. But he took...
Rachel packed some extra underwear and her hip boots. She says she's not even going to shower while she's gone.
Not John. He packed every single decent piece of clothing he owns.
Well, then we better start carrying it over.
Oh, just a minute. I baked some cookies to go along. John loves my cookies, and these are his favorite snickerdoodles.
That was a nice idea. That way if they don't catch anything, they'll still have something to eat.
Oh, Jackie! No wonder he's taking all his clothes with him.
What is it? Why is he taking his clothes?
John's not going to Red Rock Creek at all. He's going to Mexico.
Where?
To Mexico. Here's his plane ticket.
Why would John want to go to Mexico when there are plenty of fish at Red Rock Creek?
You don't understand, Jackie. He's not going for the weekend. He's going for good. Forever. This is a one-way ticket. John's leaving me.
Oh, you poor thing. I didn't realize you and John were having trouble.
I didn't realize we were having trouble. This all makes so much sense. I thought John was upset about turning 50 when all Boggy wanted to get away from me.
Do you suppose there's another woman?
Oh, no.
I wonder who it is.
I don't want to know.
Oh, of course you want to know. It wouldn't be normal not to wonder who your husband's having an affair with.
It's just, we've always been so happy. At least I've been happy. And I thought John was happy too until these last few weeks when he was upset about turning 50.
That's probably when the affair started.
You think? No. We're jumping to conclusions. Just because John's leaving me and going to Mexico doesn't mean there's another woman. This is only a single ticket.
Of course it is. He had her tickets sent to her. It's always done that way. Don't you ever go to the movies?
Oh, Jackie, I just thought of something terrible. If John goes to Mexico, he won't be here for his funeral.
That's right. What a rotten thing to do. And after all your hard work and planning. I should think the least he could do is wait until after his funeral to leave you.
Of course he doesn't know about the funeral.
And I think you should tell him.
How could I tell him?
Just say, oh, John, please stick around a few more days. I'm having a surprise funeral for you.
Well, if I tell him that, it would ruin the surprise, and this isn't any good unless it's a surprise.
I just can't believe it. I've read about men who desert their families, but I didn't think John would be one of them.
Oh my God! I'm just gonna miss him so much.
Mom! Did I get a call? Just a minute, Elizabeth.
Don't shout, Elizabeth. Didn't got any calls.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter.
You've been crying?
It's just a little misunderstanding.
You can tell me, Mom.
I think she'd rather not right now.
Oh, it's about Dad, isn't it?
What makes you ask that?
I heard him talking to Rachel one night.
What did he say?
He said he just wants to slip away quietly.
Oh no!
We have to be brave, Mom. We need to make his last days with us happy ones.
How can I be happy knowing I'll never see your father again?
We'll have our memories.
You're taking this very well, Elizabeth. I'm glad you're not bitter towards your father.
Why would I be bitter? I've had the sweetest,
Oh.
kindest,
Oh.
most wonderful father a girl could ever want.
What a kind thing to say.
Whoa, looks like the wake has started a little early.
What's going on here?
Oh, it's nothing.
We're fine. Oh, Dad!
Jackie, what's the matter?
It's just so sad watching a nice family like this fall apart.
Good afternoon. I'm Miss Jansen, representing the Heart's Desire. Is Miss Dollison at home?
You represent Heart's Desire? Please, come in.
Thank you.
I would like to speak with you privately.
Now, hold on. Anything you have to say in front of Elizabeth can be said right here in front of everybody.
Oh, please, John, you don't understand.
I understand there's been way too much secrecy around here already. Miss Jensen, please state your business.
I think we'd better leave.
Stay right where you are. I may need witnesses.
Please, John, you don't understand. I need to speak with Miss Jansen privately.
Actually, it's Miss Dollison that I'm here to see. Is that you?
No, but
Miss Dollison, you mean you're here to see Elizabeth?
That's right, Miss Elizabeth Dollison. Is she here?
Yes,
Be quiet, Elizabeth.
Don't believe
Let me
it.
get this straight. You represent Heart's Desire and you're here to see Elizabeth.
That's right.
I'm Elizabeth.
So it was Elizabeth who was involved with Heart's Desire.
And Marianne made the motel reservation for them.
How do you do,
what
Elizabeth?
motel reservation?
I'm very glad to.
There are laws around here against people like you. Elizabeth's only 15 years old.
Dad, what are you doing?
I don't need to understand who Miss Jansen is. No wonder she's been crying so much. She's too young for this sort of thing. Miss African Violet's son would have been bad enough, but this, what were you thinking? Letting her get involved in something like this at her age?
But John, Elizabeth has been entering these contests since she was 9 years old. You know that. Why would this one be different?
Which one?
The Heart's Desire contest. Miss Jansen says she's from the Heart's Desire contest.
The Heart's Desire. Heart's Desire is a contest?
I'm Elizabeth Dolphinson. I'm the one you came here to see. I'm sorry about my father, but he hasn't been himself lately, and he didn't know why you're here, and well, why are you here? Did I win?
It's my pleasure to announce that you are the winner of the Heart's Desire contest.
Did you hear that? I won.
I don't believe it. Elizabeth finally won something.
Not just something, she won a scholarship to Tank University.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is she right? Did I win a scholarship?
Why, there's no scholarship. You won a trip to the Mayo Clinic for your father. Your critically ill father. All expenses paid for best medical help in the United States of America.
Why would I want to
I
get
thought you asked for a scholarship.
Well, I was going to, but that's before I knew about Dad.
Why would I want to go to the Mayo Clinic?
You don't have to pretend any longer, Dad. I know all about your illness, and I think you're the bravest man who's ever lived.
His illness?
What illness?
The illness you're dying from.
Dying? I'm not dying. At least not from any disease.
You aren't?
Of course not. Whatever gave you such an idea?
But I heard you. You were talking to Rachel, and you said you were going to slip away quietly. You even gave her your fishing poles to remember you by.
I didn't mean that I was gonna die. I just meant...
He just meant that he was gonna slip away quietly to Mexico.
How did you know about that?
I was gonna put cookies in your suitcase and I found your plane ticket.
You're going to Mexico? I thought you were going to die.
I hope she isn't too disappointed.
Well then, Elizabeth's statement was based on false information.
But she didn't know it was false.
What are you going to do in Mexico? Can I go too?
I'm afraid not. You see...
We might as well tell her, John. She's gonna have to find out sooner or later. Elizabeth, honey, your father is leaving us.
Leaving us? You mean the two of you are getting a divorce?
Oh, it's so sad.
Yes, a divorce. Your father prefers to live in Mexico.
Now, hold on. Not prefers. I do not prefer to live in Mexico. I'm fleeing to Mexico to protect my very life.
Is someone after you? Are you a spy?
Who could be after you? Are in some kind of trouble?
As if you wouldn't know.
You might as well confess now, Marianne. John knows all about the murder.
There's been a murder here?
Not yet. It's scheduled for tomorrow.
There's going to be a murder? What murder?
We are talking about my murder, the one that you so conveniently planned for this weekend.
You must be going crazy. Why would I want to murder my own husband?
So you can be free.
Free to marry Roy.
Roy who?
Roy who? Oh, I suppose you're gonna deny that my brother Roy is flying in this weekend.
Well, no, I
To
won't.
say nothing of Swan's mortuary reserved for Monday morning.
You found out my surprise is ruined.
Yes, and lucky thing for me that I found out too. I may be getting old and weak, but I'm not senile yet.
You're not even that weak.
I can still get away from that murderer you hired.
Murderer! You actually thought I was gonna have you killed?
Weren't you?
Of course not. Why would you think such a thing?
I mean, it's not too hard when I'm reading the list of flowers, organist,
Oh,
casket.
you found my list. Well, I was gonna pretend you died, and I was gonna have a fake funeral for you on your birthday. I was gonna invite all of our friends and our family and see how much we all love you. It was gonna be be a party. A 50th funeral party.
You're right. She does get some crazy ideas.
So you weren't gonna have me killed?
Of course not. I love you.
Well, what about Roy and the Starburst?
That was part of the surprise. I thought you'd like to see your brother again.
So you're not having an affair with him?
With Roy, that hairy ape.
Oh, honey, I'm so relieved.
Wait, so why are you going to Mexico?
I'm not going anymore. I only thought that your mother wanted to get rid of me, so I was just gonna slip away and save her the trouble.
And save your life at the same time.
Well, I thought you were leaving me. When I saw that plane ticket, I thought you were leaving to go to Mexico without me.
She even thought there might be another woman.
There'll never be another woman for me.
And there'll never be another man for me.
Even when I'm old and bald.
The older you get, the more I love you. Just like my furniture.
So, you definitely are not dying, Mr. Dawson.
I've never felt better in my life. I apologize for hitting you. I thought you wanted something else from Elizabeth.
Apology accepted.
I guess this means I didn't win the contest.
Well, according to the rules, the winner of the Heart's Desire contest has a choice. You can either choose the specific item that you asked for in your entry, or $20,000 in cash.
Wow.
He obviously made an honest mistake due to a misunderstanding. Since you didn't deliberately defraud the contest, I see no reason why you should be disqualified.
Wow.
$20,000 in cash.
That's even better than a lifetime supply of Sudsy shampoo.
Congratulations, Elizabeth.
I always knew she'd win someday.
I won. I really won. Oh, I'm so happy.
We finally know why she cries all the time. It's because she's so happy.
Thank you, Miss Jansen.
Yes, thank you.
You can stop by my office on Monday to pick up the check, and we'd like to take a few pictures of you while you're there.
This calls for celebration. Tonight we celebrate two very special events. Elizabeth's win and my wonderful 50th birthday.
Your wonderful birthday. Did you hear that, Jackie? We're going to celebrate John's wonderful 50th birthday.
Let's have the champagne today.
What champagne?
The champagne I bought to have after John's funeral, it's in the garage.
In John's garage? We may never find it.
Let's get it right now.
Could you stay, Miss Jansen? I know there's gonna be a funeral or murder, but there's still gonna be quite a party.
Thanks, but I'll have to get going. Your $20,000 will be ready for you.
Thanks. $20,000. Wow.
Sweetheart, I'm awfully sorry I suspected you of having an affair.
It's all right. I suspected you too.
I'm awfully sorry I spoiled your surprise.
Well, I do think you would have enjoyed it. I was gonna have flowers and music and the most beautiful. Oh dear, excuse me a minute.
Happy birthday, John. You still pack quite a punch for a man your age. Big Daddy.
Shut up.
Hi, Swan's Mortuary. I'd like to cancel a casket.